Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of the Movie Night Podcast. I am producer Mike, making my long-awaited debut. And despite what you guys might think, no, me and Wes don't actually dress like this on a daily basis. We are both wearing our jerseys from high school. And we also have the West momentum up right here. Wes, you were quite the linebacker back in the day. Go ahead and tell me all about that.
I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I definitely was. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but
no, toot it. Let's hear it. Tell the people.
Went to Nazareth Academy.
Yeah.
2 state championships, or no, 1 state championship with them. Sorry,
Okay.
my sophomore year. Started linebacker on varsity since sophomore.
Yeah.
Senior year, all state.
Yeah.
Defensive MVP for the conference. We
really
lost in the state championship game. If y'all really want to see, we could put a link to.
We're gonna link the huddle highlights.
West, and
you
could take a look.
Also, shout out Nazareth Academy. JJ going top 10.
Yeah, to the Vikings.
Yeah, we both crossed paths with JJ before. Me.
Yeah.
I went to Yorkville. I like to call myself the best backup QB in the nation.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I led a few games in rushing yards. Y'all should have seen what I did to Centralia.
Yeah.
Came in, ran for 37 yards. Game was pretty close at that point. I think we were only winning like 52-0.
Yeah.
So I was pretty close. Yeah, no, it was pretty close. The game's still within reach.
Oh yeah,
obviously, right? So they needed me. But in all seriousness, the reason that I'm here today and the reason that Wes is here, both in our basking in our high school momentums, because we're here to talk about sports movies. So I've been producing the podcast. I've been sitting behind the desk. I've been laughing. I've been enlightening these dumbasses when they said that Shadow should drive a motorcycle.
Yeah, I don't know why Ty said that.
That was pretty. Ty said that? You sure? No, you mean Jacoby. Jacoby said that.
Oh yeah, Jacoby.
Jacoby said that. But I'm making my debut. And I have a little bone to pick with Wes because in the first few episodes he called me Wilson Fisk. I don't know. Maybe I'll return the favor here. Maybe I got a few tricks on my sleeve. Who knows? But we're here to talk about sports movies today. Yeah, because sports movies are, I think, kind of a niche genre. Yeah. And I love Jacoby, but he would have not as much fun with this as we will.
No, because we're definitely more the sports guys.
We're definitely sports guys. He's not. He's a film guy for sure, but not so much a sports guy. Now there are a few sports movies that he likes, so I'm not going to say that he's never enjoyed a sports movie. We actually bond over a few sports movies. But I think when you talk about this genre, this is something that me and Wes are much better equipped to talk about.
Yeah.
Talking about sports movies, though, I think getting into it, probably the best sport in the sports movie genre is probably baseball.
Oh, yeah.
I think baseball just has...
Oh, yeah.
I think that they just make for the best type of movies.
Oh, yeah, there's so many baseball movies.
No, there's so many baseball movies. And I think the reason that the reason baseball movies are so good is because baseball is really about... It's more emotional, I think, than a lot of other sports.
Oh, yeah.
Football is about kind of brute strength, physicality, how fast, how long, whatever. Mm-hmm. But baseball is more of, I think, a connection with your heart.
Yeah, definitely.
And what I'm meaning to say by that is that there's a lot of white people in baseball. Which is why they make for the best movies. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But no, so...
you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
But...
Ironically enough...
Then my boy Jackie Robinson...
I was going to say, ironically enough, my favorite baseball movie, and this is a great way to segue, is 42.
Yeah. That is the best baseball movie.
No, yeah. It's one of, if not the best baseball movies. Because baseball movies, I think, have two kind of distinct subgenres. Mm-hmm. They have super realistic... actually shit that happened,
and then comedic
kids playing in the backyard.
Yeah, like
that's really it.
Like Major League or
but
bench warmers,
Sandlot.
Oh.
Yeah, and we'll get to those in a second. But let's talk for a second about 42 because one of the best baseball movies, like we said, the breakout performance of Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace.
Yes,
Harrison Ford's in it.
Yes,
the guy from the Fast and Furious movies is in it. Mm-hmm. And then the guy from Law and Order is in it. I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, he plays the coach.
The coach
from Law and Order.
Yeah. So he's the manager. I think is he the AAA manager? Or is he no, he's the regular manager. Yeah, he's the regular manager. But go ahead and talk about 42 for a second. I will step aside and let you talk for no reason at all.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead, because we both play baseball.
Yeah, 42 is the pinnacle of baseball movies, in my opinion. the way they show how hard it was for Jackie to break through.
Yeah.
And, actually get people to look at him as a baseball player and not as
a Make-A-Wish kid, basically.
Yes, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, because, they bring him up. Obviously, back then they all had problems with it because he was a black person coming into a predominantly white
Only
sport.
white, actually.
Only white.
Yeah, only white.
Only white sport at the time.
Exactly.
And I think this movie did a great job of showing just how difficult it was for Jackie, especially the scene when he is at the house during spring training.
Yeah.
And all those people show up
Yeah.
asking if Jackie's in there. The scene where he's playing first base and one of the guys like purposely steps on his leg to injure him.
Yep.
And the strife it causes with the teammates he's playing with, how some of them aren't for it and the others are, and it's just it's such it. And then they show how it affects his family too. Like at that airport when him and his wife are trying to get to spring training, I think it was, and she goes into the white restroom.
Yeah.
And Jackie's sitting there like, oh God,
Yeah.
what is she doing? And it's just like they do a great job of showing it. It's not just here he is playing baseball. They show every aspect of how difficult it was for him to do it.
Right. I love this scene too. Like, I mean, you got to think like Jackie Robinson. Not only did he have to be good, he had to keep his emotions in check.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the scene after his first at bat, he pops out, and like before his at bat, the manager's calling him the N word and this and that, and monkey. What you do to Kalen, basically. And so he pops out, and he goes into the goes to the hallway by the locker room, and he's just screaming.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like so frustrated, and he's like, hitting his bat on the wall and everything like that. And what's so I think important about that scene is he could not do that in front of anybody. Like he had to be completely secluded. Like he had to be completely independent because nobody could have seen that, or else it would have just been over.
Like the thing with Jackie too is I think Jackie was such an emotional person and like very. Like not angry, but like he got mad. He felt it.
Yeah, he felt it. Yeah.
Like, and I think anybody in that situation would have felt it.
Exactly.
But I think Jackie, out of all people, was probably gonna be one of the people that would cause a problem. But the way he was able to not,
right? Because he knew the implications of what he did. Like if this was happening today, he could have spoken out and he could have done whatever. That was not an option back then. He had to kind of basically shut his mouth and deal with it. And that's the sad truth of how that was back then. But he was, like Harrison Ford said, like he can handle it. Yeah. Like he was so uniquely gifted, not only as a baseball player, but as a person to compartmentalize all that. And again, he didn't not get angry. He didn't not get upset. He didn't, let it all just go past him. But he, dealt with it outside of the public eye to where, I mean, again, the story of Jackie Robinson, I mean, I think they follow the story of Jackie Robinson so beautifully. It's really well acted. Harrison Ford's awesome. Jackie Robinson, Chadwick Boseman's awesome. Just a really, really good movie. And again, that's the part of the subgenre of baseball movies where you're like, again, because baseball has so many great stories over the course of baseball. Like over the course of the sport, so many great stories. Jackie is, I would argue, the most important one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not only was Jackie a catalyst for like the Major League Baseball, integration, but like the NFL, college,
everything.
The NBA. I mean, the NBA is kind of Y'all been had that one. You know what I'm saying?
y'all had that in the bag.
Y'all been had that one.
Yeah.
But like I know, like that's really important. And now in today's age, seeing black athletes play any sport is nobody bats an eye. Well, not nobody, but majority of people don't bat an eye because it's like it's just common practice. And a lot of that I think can be attributed to Jackie Robinson. So great movie. On the complete opposite end of the baseball spectrum, The Sandlot. Oh, The Sandlot's a movie where you think of like playing baseball as a kid. You think of like just hanging out with your buddies, going to like the diamond at your in your neighborhood or whatever, just getting a group together. Like it's just a feel good baseball movie.
It is such a good
so
movie.
Iconic. Yes. You're killing me small. It's one of the most iconic lines in any sports movie, let alone baseball. Yeah. I mean, it's just I think it epitomizes what's beautiful about the game on a micro level. Like again, just hanging out with your buddies, playing. You can't.
It's like it's very much a baseball season or baseball not season movie, but also at the core of it, it's about kids. Yeah. Being kids.
Exactly.
And like how the ball goes over the fence and they're terrified it's some big monstrous
the scale is not
dog.
Big.
But it's not. He's just an old little dog.
Well, like again, the scale is not integrating black players into Major League Baseball. The scale is, oh shit, the ball's over the fence. You know,
there's a big monstrous dog protecting it.
Like there's a dog, like the dog's chasing us. So again, it's like on the opposite end, but I think it does a great job of still, you know, epitomizing what's beautiful about baseball. Another and you can interject at any point with any movies. These are just some that I wrote down. Some goofy ass movies in baseball. Angels in the Outfield. That's one of those like Disney's, you know, CGI kind of remake. I think Christopher Lloyd did that one, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna be so honest with you.
Yeah,
I have not seen that movie,
bro. Come on, it's one of those movies where it's like I can't say it's like you have to watch it, but it's kind of like
I'm gonna watch it.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Like all the movies we have on our list, I've seen except that movie.
It's one of those. It's not like Moneyball where you're like, dude, this movie is so good, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to Moneyball because I have a lot to say. Yeah. But we'll talk, and it's like, but it's just like you just gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Rookie of the Year is a good one as well. Utilizing the best team in Major League Baseball, the Chicago Cubs.
Shut up. That's the only bad part about that film is that it's the Chicago Cubs.
But I think that movie is like kid fan fiction.
Oh yeah.
It's like every kid wants to be 10 years old and have their favorite baseball team call them up and be like, bro, we need you.
Like every kid at one point when they go to a game is like, what if I just threw this ball?
Yeah,
I could get called up. And they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like just this kid who's just throwing gas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight
like,
heaters.
Straight heaters. And it's like at 9 years old, you're like, I think I could pitch for the Cubs. I think I could do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good movie. Again, a lot of these movies are just like, they're not cinematic masterpieces per se. They're just feel-good kids movies.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year, Angel in the Outfield, Sandlot. There's a bunch of baseball movies like that. But one movie that I think actually changed Major League Baseball, which is we'll get to in a second, Field of Dreams. It's a really good movie. Kevin Costner, really, really good movie.
Uh-huh.
For those who don't know, Major League Baseball, as of a couple years ago, actually turned the field in that movie into an actual usable MLB stadium. And once a year, maybe they're going to do more now because it was so successful. They've done the Field of Dreams game. So last year it was the Cubs and Reds, I believe. And then the year before,
it's the Sox and
it was the Sox and the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, Sox and Yankees.
Sox and Yankees,
Didn't the Cubs and the Sox do it too?
Oh, God, that's what I'm saying. I think there was a few, but I can't remember.
I remember Sox and Yankees. That was
that was the first one. That was a great game too.
Yeah.
But the actual movie, Kevin Costner, and we'll talk about him more later on the list, is he like the king of sports movies?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's been in a few. He was in another baseball movie too, and I'm forgetting the name.
Oh, I was just thinking of it.
Yeah, he was a pitcher.
Major League.
Yes, Major League. Yes, he was in that one. He was good in that one. But he's really good in Field of Dreams as well.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's a top 3-4 baseball movie in your opinion?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
It's close. It's close for me. I'll say that. But what I really kind of want to talk about, and what's probably going to take a majority of my breath, Moneyball. Moneyball is kind of universally recognized as like the baseball movie. And Brad Pitt is great. Jonah Hill's great. This was, if I'm not mistaken, this was pre-Parks and Rec, Chris Pratt. Mm-hmm. So that's his breakout movie as well.
I think, wasn't Clint Eastwood in this movie too?
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another movie.
Yeah, you're thinking of the one with Amy Adams.
Yeah. Sorry.
Forget that one.
Yeah.
I've not seen that one, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But Moneyball's a really good movie. And Moneyball, the plot of Moneyball is so simple, but it's so funny. The plot of Moneyball is we're broke, figure it out. And Billy Bean has to be like, all right, I got a ball on a budget here. So his whole philosophy, and you hear this 5,000 times if you watch the movie, does the guy get on base? Does he get on base? Does he, do this? And, I think it's a great story because they take a list of cast-offs. They take, like, David Justice, and they do this, and, they have Scott Hattenberg and the guy nobody wanted, blah, blah, blah. And there's that whole scene where they're in, the scout meeting and whatever, and, Brad Pitt, Billy Bean is talking, and he's like, does the guy get on base? He keeps pointing to Jonah Hill. He's like, what does he do? He gets on base, and that's the whole plot of the movie. But the movie, the undertone of it is, like, underdog. It's an underdog story,
Mm-hmm.
It's an underdog in both the athletics, not having any fucking money, and it's guys like Scott Hattenberg who, had a defect in their game, or this pitcher threw funky, or whatever, and it's an underdog story. And I think that it is, in terms of the movie, like just talking about the movie's really good. The movie's like 9.5, 10 out of 10 range. Like it's really, really good. My gripe with it, though, and it's a legitimate beef, it's not very historically accurate.
Oh, no, not at all.
Because they do not talk about I think what made that athletics team successful. Like if you watched that movie and you knew nothing about the early 2000s athletics, you'd be like, oh my gosh, Scott Hattenberg was so good, David Justice, blah, blah, blah. That athletics team really was dependent on Miguel Tejada and that pitching and that rotation. Their rotation was really damn good.
Yep.
And again, that was the point of their success. Because Jason Giambi was an MVP caliber guy. He left, and then Miguel Tejada was the same thing. So they kind of, whatever. The other thing that really pisses me off, though, is it makes the athletics owner almost seem like a victim, where he's just kind of like, sorry, we don't have any money. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're shit broke. Like, we got to figure something out. When in reality, he's just a cheap ass.
Yep.
He's just a cheap ass. And, like, that's kind of where I'm like, it gives him too much slack. And I get, like, they don't necessarily make him, like, a hero. But I think the movie doesn't villainize him. And obviously, like, if he's going to give the licensing to the athletics, they can't, like, have his team and be like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. I get it. But, like, at the same time, it's kind of not actually historically accurate to what it is. But let's talk about, what do you think, Wes? I'm going to let you ramble here for a second because I've been yapping. What do you think makes a good baseball movie? Like, when you look for a good baseball movie, what are things and characteristics that you look for?
Oh, that's a great question, Michael.
Thank you. I wrote it myself, actually.
Sorry. Just kidding. No, I think a great baseball film, literally, it's like Jackie 42 does it great. I mean, you get the aspect of the baseball side into it very well.
Yeah.
And then the story behind it is also really good for the characters and what happens to them outside of baseball. Now, if you're making a film like Moneyball, where it's just strictly about baseball and the front office of it, if you so will do, I think that I don't know. I think it depends on if you're going for a movie that is supposed to be historically accurate, like 42, or if you're making a movie that is completely not historically accurate. So it depends
on what kind of caliber.
So like if you're like, because if you're going like with Major League, it was about the Indians, but it wasn't very historically accurate. It wasn't supposed to be that way. Yeah. Whereas 42 is a very, very
and like obviously rookie of the year is not.
No,
that's never been a 9-year-old to pitch for the Cubs.
Right.
To my knowledge,
so I think it depends, and I think you just have to be able to hit the beats right on baseball.
So you're saying you need to hit the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Because baseball is a very emotional sport.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say too. I think regardless of where you go, if you go the Jackie Robinson route, if you go the Billy Beane route, if you go the Sandlot route, you got to hit the heartstrings. Yeah. The ending of the movie has to make you feel good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what baseball is. So I agree. And then, do you have any just bad baseball movies that you've ever seen? It's kind of hard to make a bad
anyone with the Cubs in it.
I hate you. I can't stand you. One baseball movie that I'll say probably, you're an asshole, first of all. One baseball movie that I would say sticks out above the rest in terms of comedy, pure laughs, is Benchwarmers. That movie is hilarious.
Dude, I love that movie.
First of all, you have a guy who works at a video store who his whole plot is he just wants to get with the Pizza Hut girl. Mm-hmm. Then you have his buddy who is afraid of the sun and eats sunscreen. Then you have the main character who, former top baseball player, whatever, was a bully. By the way, the scene where they go to the rich guy's house and he just has all the Star Wars shit, that shit makes me laugh to this day.
Facts.
Yeah, and then my other favorite scene is when it's when they're playing in the semi-championship against the rival school, and they bring in that like old Hispanic guy to be the pitcher, and they're like, "I want to see a birth certificate," and he pulls out the thing. It says, "I'm 13" with the money in there. That shit's so funny. Like that's one of those baseball movies that to me is like so outside of the norm of baseball movies because it's not wholesome at all.
No.
Well, I mean the ending's kind of wholesome, but like the movie is really inappropriate. It's really funny. It's just stupid, goofy.
Like
fun.
That movie comes in like it knows it's not a serious movie.
No.
It is a comedic ride they're going to take you on.
Exactly.
It's not afraid to be stupid and funny.
Exactly.
Or inappropriate or whatever.
In the ending, they get fucking creamed. Yeah. But it's nice because they let all the kids play. You know what I'm saying? But if they get like destroyed, which is hilarious. Our other favorite sport, the one that we're repping right now, football movies.
Yes.
Do we think that football is slotted in at number 2 for best sports to make movies about?
No.
No? Okay.
I think hockey is.
Ooh, we'll get into that. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
I
do think football is third, though.
Third? Yeah, I was going to say, it's definitely on the Mount Rushmore.
Definitely.
I might put tennis up there as well. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay, so some of our best football movies that we had written down. Yep.
Written?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wes, for the English correction.
You're welcome.
One of the most iconic, Remember the Titans. That's a great one. Baby Ryan Gosling in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, funny story, when I got my first concussion in like, I don't know, like 7th, 8th grade or whatever, I didn't remember ever seeing that movie. And
you just forgot
it. And my mom, to this day, like, that's how she knew I had a concussion, because that was like my favorite film apparently growing up. And to this day, I still don't remember seeing it before I was like...
That's crazy.
Before I was like 13.
Bro, you got hit so hard you got amnesia?
Yeah, I still don't remember seeing that film before.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
Dude, that's
concussions.
Nuts. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. You literally got hit so hard.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Your coach was like, what happened on the blind side? I don't know. Or not blind side. Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I wish I could have...
I literally was trying to remember the Titans.
I was literally trying to remember the Titans. I wish, dude... I wish I would have gotten one of my concussions during the Star Wars sequels. I wish I could forget about those. Anyway, good movie. It's been talked about at length. Again, feel good. It's an underdog story. That's what I think. That's again like a good sports movie. You got to have a little aspect of underdogs. Like I don't want to see a sports movie about how the Yankees won their 28th World Series. Nobody wants to see that shit.
No.
Like you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see a movie about how the rich kid who is 6'5", 250 and throws 99 miles an hour goes to the major leagues. We get it. Yeah. Okay, that's not entertaining. Another good movie though. Speaking of underdogs, The Blind Side is a good movie.
Oh, so good.
Now I'm going to sound like an asshole. I have a gripe with The Blind Side because the movie itself is really good. Mm-hmm. Sandra Bullock and everybody, they do a great job. It's a great story about how the kid was adopted, and then the scene where she's like, "Run the damn ball." That shit that's always funny. But unfortunately, the guy who it's about hates it.
Oh yeah,
Michael Orr.
Oh, he hates it. Yeah,
he hates it, and he's come out multiple times and been like, "That movie was like." Not accurate at all.
No, yeah.
Like they took his story, which again he was adopted, and then he obviously became a very successful. He played, I believe he was drafted in the first round. I know he played for the Panthers, and when they went to the Super Bowl. So like from that aspect, yes, it's a great success story. But a lot of the shit, like I'm sure she didn't just find him off the street,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's got to be a little dehumanizing when you're telling your story, and then Hollywood is like, yeah, but what if? Yeah, but what if you were on the street? Yeah. But it's like that's kind of shitty. By the way, shout out Nick Saban's cameo. That cameo in that movie is hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was back when he was at LSU. That was pre-Bama.
Yeah.
So, but I'll let you talk about Blindside if you want.
I mean, I don't really have much to say about it.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
It's good, but it's tainted
because it's not accurate.
No, it's not.
So I don't really have much to say about it.
This is probably a movie, and again, I talked about how like Benchwarmers kind of stands apart from all of the baseball movies. I think Concussion stands apart from all the football movies because it's real. Mm-hmm. It's like real shit. And it kind of, unfortunately, reveals some dark truths about the NFL. Mm-hmm. If you don't know, Concussion's a movie about a doctor, and he did like revolutionary research on concussions and the way that it affects football players' brains. And the NFL did not like it. They were not happy with it. But unfortunately, it was revealed years ago that they had been covering up a lot of concussion-related research that they had in order to not affect their product. And they actually got sued for billions of dollars. And part of the reason was because of this guy right there. Will Smith does a great job. I mean, he does a great job in a lot of movies, so that's really nothing. But that's one of those movies where you want to talk about wholesome, feel good?
Not at all.
Not at all. Rudy's another movie. It's really good.
That honestly might be my favorite football movie.
You like Rudy?
I love Rudy.
Talk about Rudy. I want to hear.
Rudy is just so good.
Yeah.
And also, I remember when I first saw that movie, because I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, of course.
And the guy who plays Rudy plays Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings. So I love him.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a lot of good football films for college, in the college aspect. Anymore.
Okay.
And I think that film does it perfectly. on Rudy and him being an underdog and, having to really work his ass off to get his shot, and especially at a school like Notre Dame.
Right.
Which is close to where we live, and I've been to Notre Dame. It is beautiful.
Massive.
Yeah. That school has so much history behind it.
Exactly.
And that film just, I don't know. It's just great.
Yeah.
I love every part of it.
Yeah. No, it's really, again, that's a true, like, underdog story. And what I like about that movie so much is it's very realistic in the sense that, like, the climax of the movie was him getting into a game and making a tackle.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't him interception. It wasn't him scoring touchdown. It was him getting a tackle.
He literally just got a tackle.
And like that's the thing. But that was so rewarding for him because all his life he wanted to be Notre Dame. He was on the. It's not called the practice squad. It's called the non-travel team or whatever it was in college. Yeah. He was just busting his ass. And what's actually funny that people don't know about is. Maybe you've heard of him. His name's Joe Montana. He was on that Notre Dame team.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was on that Notre Dame team. And he's talked about Rudy, and he's kind of like laughed. He's been like, yeah, maybe he's embellished a little bit. But like, that's the type of story where you're not lying about a kid getting picked up off the street.
Yeah.
Maybe Joe Montana basically said like maybe he was celebrated a little bit more in the movie than he was in real life. But like, that's something that you can embellish. Yeah. Like, you can turn up that for whatever. One movie I want to talk about. Because I'm gonna skip a movie because I kind of want to lump these last two together. Brian's Song is a really good movie. I think that's football's version of Jackie or 42.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, that's about Gale Sayers, Brian Piccolo, the first interracial roommates in pro. I believe it was pro sports. But what's so significant about that is Gale Sayers was drafted in 1965 by the Bears, and that was again there were black players in the NFL, but they weren't welcomed with open arms, let's say.
Right.
And at first, him and Brian Piccolo didn't get along, and this is a story about friendship. Mm-hmm. This is a story about, like we were talking about with 42, like incorporating black players better into the league. Like there's racial undertones, there's friendship undertones, there's the tone about football. And Gale Sayers, he's a Hall of Famer. Like the dude is insane.
Yeah.
And so this story is really hits your heart. Like it makes you like tear up a little bit, and it's like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. Like this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
And the way, because they don't get along at first. Like they're yelling at each other at practice. Oh, you do this, blah blah. And what I love about this movie, one of the I guess poetry of the movie is that Brian Piccolo is a fullback.
Yeah.
And he's blocking for Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers is running behind him. And one of the things that Brian Piccolo says, he's like, run behind me. And that's kind of an allegory for not only the game, but for, the way it is in real life, where it's like, I got your back.
Right.
I got you. I don't care if you're black. You're my teammate. You're my guy. I love you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful kind of story wrapped into one. But to end off our list, I want to take it the opposite direction. I want to talk about the king of football movies. Mm-hmm. We talk about Kevin Costner in King of Baseball movies. King of football movies is Adam Sandler.
Oh, without a doubt.
Dude, his movies are so good. The Waterboy is probably my favorite football movie ever.
Dude, Waterboy is...
It's so funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, Waterboy is not a serious movie at all.
No.
Like, that movie's goofy and it knows that. Whereas The Longest Yard, it's goofy.
Yeah.
But it also has some serious...
It has some serious... Yeah.
Yeah, undertones to it. And when... what's his name died in The Longest Yard? Was Chris Rock's character?
What?
It was Chris Rock's character.
I believe so, yeah.
Like, when he died... I cried. I was like...
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, it was emotional. It was emotional. What I love about The Waterboy, again, you have Adam Sandler talking like this the whole time. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny. And he's like, she threw me her boobies. Like, it's just such a funny movie. And, like, the whole scene when he's at the hospital with his mom, I don't want you playing football. That's the devil's game. You know what I'm saying? And the coach is like, please play football for me, please. That's how my coaches were, in case you guys were wondering. Yeah. Anyway. But it's so funny because, I mean, he's just, like, the scene, the montage of the games where he's just, like, actually a fucking shit game wrecker, where he's just, like, breaking through the line, sacking the quarterbacks, running the ball, and they're like, run, because he's got the ball, he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It is just so funny. The scene with his girlfriend is good, and then again, like I said, the scene when he's in the hospital, he's like, guys, I can't play football. And then the guy's like, from the bench where he's like, oh no, we suck again. That is so funny. It's just a great football movie. And it's like, does it fit in the mold of most football movies? No. But it's like the best parts of like a mid-2000s Adam Sandler comedy movie mixed with some football stupidness mashed together, and it just works.
Yeah.
It just works so well.
And then this isn't a movie, but I think it's one of the best football shows ever.
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights is great.
It's great.
Friday Night Lights is great.
Watch it.
It's really good. Last Chance U, if we're talking about football shows, Last Chance U is also really good. But I will say, if we're talking about football shows, I can't not diss. Oh God, what's the CW show?
All American.
All American. I hate that show. I cannot stand All American.
Dude, the way they throw the ball, even.
That's one thing that I'm gonna say is I'm such a nerd about football, and I know you are too, because we talk about this all the time. If the football in your movie or show is garbage, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
And again, Waterboy, like dudes flying all over. It's unrealistic on purpose. I don't care, dude. If you're gonna do that and you're gonna, that's how they run routes. It's like they're salsa dancing. It's so stupid.
It is.
I hate All American. I want to just say one thing about The Longest Yard. Great movie. It's actually a remake from, I believe it was in the 70s, and the guy who was the star in the first one is back. Burt Reynolds, I think.
He plays the old
guy,
quarterback. Yeah.
My favorite line in that movie, though, and I'll tell you why it's my favorite line. When they're playing against the guards, and the big white dude, he runs and he's like, "That's how a white man runs the football." That's what I think of every single time Christian McCaffrey touches the ball.
Oh goodness.
That's what I think every time he gets up. And I know he's not like mic'd up every game, but I think that's how he is. But speaking of Christian McCaffrey, I think it would be kind of fun for a quick second to name some NFL players and fan cast them into a movie. Like, say there was ever a movie made about one of these guys, who would you want? So I'll start with you, Wes. Who would you want to play Patrick Mahomes, the back-to-back Super Bowl champion? He needs no introduction. Who would you have play Patrick Mahomes?
Kermit the Frog.
No,
he can just do the voice. I'm just kidding.
We'll have somebody else do the mocap. We'll do the voice.
Eric Andre.
Eric Andre playing Patrick Mahomes. That's wild, dude. That's hilarious. What about let's go Joe Burrow. What about Joe Burrow? Gotta be something that looks good, because all the girls love Joe Burrow.
Yeah. I think I'd have to go with Ken.
Ken?
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
So Joe Burrow can go back to his Mojo Dojo Casa house?
Like, who doesn't want to see Ryan Gosling walking into the tunnel with, a bunch of chains on and, doing the...
He's just like...
Doing the sexy man stare or
sexy
whatever.
Man stare? Yeah. All right, what about the pride of the white community, Christian McCaffrey? What are we thinking?
Michael Cera.
That's hilarious. Super bad Michael Cera?
Yeah, super bad.
That's so funny. Yeah. That's so funny. That's disrespectful. All right, Wes. So we've talked about baseball movies. We talked about football movies. Let's talk about some other sports movies. They deserve recognition as well. I don't think, at least in my opinion, they don't live up to the standard of baseball and football movies. According to you, though, hockey is the best one. I'm guessing you're a fan of the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
It was a great film.
Okay. What do you like about the Mighty Ducks?
Everything about it. I mean, just the story. I think hockey's a really cool sport. I never was able to play it.
Yeah.
I can't skate for shit.
Right. I'm not tough enough to play hockey.
Yeah.
I couldn't get my teeth back.
No.
Bashed in. I couldn't do it.
But I think hockey's an emotional sport as well as with baseball. Mm-hmm. And I think the Mighty Ducks, just the story of it with the kids and the coach and everything and how they put it together, I just thought was great. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of other hockey movies.
What's the one about? It's with Kurt Russell, and he's the coach of the team that beat Russia, 1980. Oh. Miracle on Ice.
Yes.
Miracle on Ice is good. I like that one. That's a good movie. Again, I'm not a hockey fan, so they don't hit the same emotional beats for me personally. But if you're a fan of hockey, I think those are probably definitely on the Mount Rushmore of hockey movies. I will say, though, kind of weird. I got to ask you this if you've had the same experience. I was watching the NBA playoffs the other day, right? I was watching Nuggets, Lakers, excuse me. And I'm watching LeBron and everything. And all of a sudden, this fucking dog starts dunking the basketball. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He's some golden retriever. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Apparently, there's a movie about him, Air Bud. I don't know. So I watched it and it was pretty good.
Really? I missed that?
Yeah, I guess so. It was on SportsCenter, bro. You didn't catch
No,
this one?
I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah.
I just don't watch basketball anymore.
Why is that? Why is that, Wes? Why don't you watch basketball?
Because
Say it.
it's just...
No, go ahead. Say it with your chest.
It's terrible nowadays.
Why is that?
Because they're a bunch of little bitches who can't take no contact, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
Flopping and flooping all over the place. It's
Flopping
just...
and That's, you sound like the most old head shit.
Hell yeah.
I thought you were about to put on your white side for a second.
No.
That's what I thought you was going to say.
No. If I'm watching basketball, I'm watching like the 90s basketball.
You're watching them just beat the shit out of each
Bro.
other? Well, so then if you're watching basketball, you would watch the original Space Jam?
Oh, yeah, that's a great
That's
movie.
what we call a transition, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
there you go.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was good.
The second Space Jam can fuck
That
off,
was
though.
terrible. The second Space Jam was so bad.
LeBron just keeps trying to be like Michael, and it's not fucking working.
My favorite thing though is when they're in like the locker room at halftime or whatever they're in, and Daffy Duck's like, I found Michael Jordan, and it's Michael B. Jordan that walks through. That was funny.
That was funny.
That was the one thing you got me. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, it's pretty good. But no, Space Jam 2 is terrible. Space Jam 1 is pretty good. I don't know if it holds up as I think the nostalgia glasses get some people because it's not amazing, but it's really good. And Michael Jordan, I will say, cannot act to save his life.
Neither can LeBron.
He was better.
LeBron was better, but
Michael can't act.
LeBron just make me mad.
LeBron just make me
He'd
mad.
be making me mad looking at him.
Okay, so Space Jam, we can agree Space Jam 1 is better.
Yes.
Space Jam 1 is better. Charles Barkley, by the way, he's actually really good.
Yeah.
I love Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
He is.
And
Like, they missed a golden opportunity in Space Jam 2 to bring Shaq in
yes.
as one of the monsters.
Yes.
Like, I so would have done that.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Like they fumbled the
Fumbled
bag
the
hard.
bag.
And wasn't that during the pandemic and it was just released on HBO or was that a theatrical release?
no, I
forget.
think it was just HBO.
Yeah, like
I mean, I didn't go to the theaters.
yeah, nothing about that was good. One of my other favorite basketball movies though was Thunderstruck.
Yes, but another great hockey movie,
Yeah.
Tooth Fairy, with Dwayne.
Never seen Tooth Fairy.
With The Rock.
Never seen Tooth Fairy.
Great film. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just had to say that. It's a
Okay.
funny film.
Speaking of The Rock, I forgot to mention the game plan for football movies. Banger. Disney Channel original movie. But no, Space Jam, Air Bud. I know, and I haven't seen this movie yet, so I'll let you talk about it. But I know you really liked Iron Claw.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Iron
talk
Claw
about
is
that.
great. So that's a film about the Jesus Christ. Forgetting their names.
Bro cannot remember the Titans or Iron Claw.
Iron Claw is about a very famous the Von Erich brothers
Yeah.
in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know what professional wrestling is, back when they were wrestling, it was called, WWF, World Wrestling Federation. They were a part of their own little independent wrestling company down there. But I'm a big WWE guy.
Yeah.
I love wrestling. I love the entertainment behind it, the storylines they put through. I just love everything about it. And this movie was so good. Like, it was
I heard the ending was very sad.
Oh, my God. I cried.
You don't have to spoil it. You can if you want to.
No, I'm not going to spoil it, but, like, I cried.
You
like,
cried?
Zac Efron put on the performance of his life.
That's
I
what
haven't
people are saying.
seen him
Yes.
perform like that since High School Musical 2 when he was
Come
singing
on.
Bet
That's
on
what I'm
It.
talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on. That's
Like,
real
bro,
acting right there, baby.
He should have been at least nominated for Best Actor. I don't think he should have won over Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, but he should have been
Isn't the
nominated.
guy from The Bear in there too? Jesse
Yes,
White?
he plays one of the brothers.
Jesse White.
And their story is so sad.
Yeah.
What happens to that family? Like, it... Oh,
Yeah.
it's a great movie.
I will have to watch it.
You do.
Another movie about fighting. We don't have to talk at length about this, but the Rocky franchise is obviously iconic. Then they made Creed. I mean, I think Rocky, if you really think about it, they probably the ones that were, maybe not the first, but they were the ones that popularized like the workout montage in movies.
Yo, Adrian!
You know? Like that was, and the scene of him running with Creed on the on the beach.
The fact too
Rest
that
in peace, Carl Weathers, by the way.
yes, the
Very
fact
sad.
too that the original Rocky film, like Sylvester, he directed and acted that film all by himself.
Yeah.
Like he didn't get help from his the studio. Like they were just like,
No.
You just here. You got this amount of time to film it, go crazy, and he made one of the best boxing films ever.
Exactly. No, iconic. I think it's probably the best. I mean, there's not many sports franchises. In movies, that's I think pretty clearly the best one. But I'm sure you guys have loved Rocky. I will say
even the Creed movies are good.
Yeah, which are like an extension of them. But yeah, the Creed movies are really good.
Creed movies are good.
Michael B. Jordan kills it.
Yeah, he does, especially in the last one where Rocky wasn't even in it.
With Jonathan Majors. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Great film.
Never mind. I was going to say something that got me. Just go give me trouble. What about other movies? Tennis has some good movies. Mm-hmm. Ironically enough, all of the girls who play Spider-Man love interest end up being tennis stars.
Yeah.
Kristen Dunst, Emma Stone, Zendaya's coming up. I know you're excited for Challengers.
No, I'm not. No, I don't even want to see that movie.
No, we already bought tickets.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, no. Opening night. We already bought tickets.
No, we didn't.
I know that.
We didn't do that.
And then the last thing I'll say, sports movie. Golf doesn't have a lot of sports movies, but the ones they do are pretty iconic. Happy Gilmore. It's great. They're making a second one.
Yep. I was just about to say
And again, we're going back to Adam Sandler being the fucking GOAT.
GOAT at everything.
He's so good. He might be the king of sports movies.
He might be the king of movies.
I don't know.
Because he just had a movie come out on Netflix called Spaceman.
Yeah.
And I was telling Mackenzie, my girlfriend, this. Great fucking movie.
Well, the thing about Adam Sandler is he's in Uncut Gems.
Great film.
Great film. He's in the other basketball movie, the one with Anthony Edwards. I forget.
Great film.
Waterboy, Longest Yard, Happy Gilmore. Costner, though, does have Draft Day, which we forgot to talk about for the NFL. Major League.
Field of Dreams.
He's in a movie about cross-country people. I forgot the name.
McFarlane?
McFarlane, yeah. Something like that.
Something. It was a Disney film.
Where they're football players and then they all suck ass and then they're like, oh, you guys have stamina, let's run. Yeah. So him and Sandler are in the GOAT discussion. Yeah. I lean Sandler probably a little bit. But
yeah, then there's King Richard.
King Richard's really good.
With Will Smith.
King Richard's really good. Tells a story about Venus and Serena's dad, played by Will Smith. Does a great job.
Listen, I know Will has the tendency to walk up and slap people.
He's a damn good actor.
He's a damn good actor. God! Well, King Richard, this is off topic. Pursuit of Happiness, Collateral Beauty, his two best films acting-wise.
But yeah, he was really good in King Richard. Again, just the story about a dad just believing in their daughters, doing whatever it can to make them successful.
Yeah.
I wish my dad believed in me like that. But anyway, talking about, just the few other sports movies. Any other ones that you're really thinking about worth mentioning? Because some sports movies are really bad, truthfully. And I think the reason that there's not a whole lot of sports movies is because it's hard to do them right. You have to have heart. You have to have good performances, regardless if it's like a comedy or if it's a kids movie.
There's that one football movie about that high school.
Very specific, Wes. Thank you.
It came out when I was in high school. God, what is it?
So it came out in 1985.
All right. Fuck you.
1985.
No, it's...
Thinking of Bella and the Bulldogs?
No. It's about it's got the guy... Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the name of it. It's about this high school.
Yeah.
A really popular high school. Still to this day. When the Game Stands Tall.
I've never seen that one.
You've never seen that film?
No.
It's about De La Salle.
Okay.
You've never seen this one?
No.
It's about De La Salle.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the kid's dad is the coach.
Yeah.
And he was going to break the rushing record or something like that. Yes. And I remember there's the scene where he was like, I need you to be my dad, now my coach, or something like that. Yes, I do remember that.
So good.
You're absolutely correct. You reminded me of a good movie.
Yeah, great film. Other than that, that's the only other movie.
I just got coffee in my nose on camera. All right, but that was our episode today on sports movies. Thank you for letting me make my debut. Not that you really had a choice, because Jacoby wasn't here. And
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I've been begging to be on camera. They don't. According to Wes, you said, I think, quote, I don't want your ugly ass on the show. Is that pretty close to what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
You just kind of translate
well,
it.
I guess I'll just stick to being behind the desk and being the producer. But if you guys want to see more of me in the episodes, just make sure to comment #FreeMike. I sound stupid. Anyway, but new episodes will be out every single Monday, except for next Monday.
Yes.
Next Monday, it'll be out on Saturday. We're doing a Star Wars episode in honor of May the 4th. So that'll be out on Saturday the 4th. Yep. But every other Monday, including this Monday, you'll get a new episode, new weekly uploads throughout the week. We have we're doing TikToks now, even though our TikTok account got suspended.
Yeah.
Fuck you, TikTok.
Yeah, fuck
That's
you.
really shitty of you.
But
yeah,
the YouTube Shorts are doing good.
popping off on Shorts. I'll tell you that.
You see those on there.
Yeah, we'll be producing a lot of content for you guys. But thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, and again, make sure to check out Wes's Huddle highlights in the comments.
Bye.
You gotta go. Squeeze in that shit. Come on, squeeze in that shit. Let's go. Squeeze in.
Oh my goodness.
All right, now flex in front of the camera, bro. See how you look. Come on. The pride of Nazareth Academy, bro. Let's go.